Hello, Steel City Surge fans. Skippy here, coach of your Steel City Surge, back for week 1 of WPF Season 5. This week we're taking on Adamu, and I believe we have faced Adamu once before. It's been quite a little bit since we faced them last, but we're going to be taking them on to start this season off, and they have a pretty scary team, I would say. Spectre is never something you want to deal with. Neither is Terra Hands, or Terra Iron Hands, I should say. Landorus Therian, Glamora, Abomasnow, Latios, Terra Heatran, Lokix, Granbull, Araquanid, and Regigigas are all on the roster. Probably a slightly favorable matchup for us. However, we're going to have to take advantage of it. So we have our first Mon of the team, and you can see the entire team on the left there for what we're bringing. We do have Shaymin-Sky as our first Mon. We're bringing Boots with it this week with Seed Flare, Air Slash, Earth Power, and Protect. We're running enough speed to outspeed basically everything except the Spectrier pre-speed boost like Choice Scarf or Trailblaze or any sort of speed boosting move like Agility. We should be able to outspeed basically everything. With Serene Grace, we get 80% chance of Spadef drop with Seed Flare, 60% chance for a flinch with Air Slash, and then I believe a 20% chance for Earth Power to get a Spadef drop as well. We basically cover most of my opponent's switch-ins to everything. Landorus can live a Seed Flare very easily since we're not choice specs, so gonna have to keep an eye out for that. Iron Hands is gonna live basically everything no matter what we do. Protect is there mainly for low kicks. If we do see like a banded set with First Impression, we can kind of bait that out. And get rid of that potential and air slash it, so that's why that's there. As well as to scout for potential moves, as long as there's no potential for setup that I can see. So that's why we have that. Going on to our Glow King set for the week, we're bringing like a very bulky, physically defensive set, but we're bringing 3 moves plus Chilly Reception. Chilly Reception for that nice slow pivoting with Regenerator and being able to heal off any damage that we take. We have a little bit into our special attack just to hit a little harder with the 3 moves we have. We have Psychic for stab, Ice Beam mainly there to help deal with Latios and help deal with Landorus as well. Flamethrower is there for Abomasnow if we happen to see it. It is also there for Heatran if it is Flame Body, so we have a way to hit it. It is also nice for potential burns. And if we see like Terra Grass Iron Hands for some reason, or even like a Terra Steel variant, we can hit that for pretty decent damage. Flamethrower is there also for a low kicks potential switch in because we are very weak to both of its stabs. So that's mainly what we have there for it. This is a very solid check into Iron Hands. As long as it's not like Terra Ground or anything that can hit us super effectively, we should be able to hit basically everything pretty decently hard with our 110 base special attack. So that's the main set for Glow King this week. We have a very offensive King Gambit as well. We're running 4 moves instead of... oh, I forgot to mention, Glow King has Black Sludge on it. King Gambit is running Terra Dark this week with a Lumberry. We are running Defiant over Supreme Overlord because we do see Landorus Therian on the other side as well as Granbull, and there are some moves that my opponent has that will probably most likely to come that will drop a stat. So very much going to try to take advantage of that with Defiant. Sucker Punch and Kowtow with Terra Dark will do massive damage. Kowtow should be able to knock out Spectrier from any level of HP that it's at. Even if we somehow get burned through the Lumberry, we should be able to Oko Spectrier with a Kowtow after Terra. And as we're only bringing Terra Gambit, it is the only Terra Captain. So after a little bit of time, we'll probably look at Terraing when we have a solid chance to get a really powerful move off. We're max attack adamant, so we're going to hit really hard. Low kick is there for coverage into like Heatran, Abomasnow. It's decent into Glamora. It can be good into like a Terra Steel, Iron Hands as well. Even Terra Rock, which is a potential to show up too. Even though we do have Iron Head, low kick should do a lot of damage, probably even more. And then Iron Head is there for coverage in case we do see like a Terra Fairy Iron Hands for some reason. It is also there for a nice little check into Granbull, because Granbull kind of just bodies us if we don't have it, even with the +1 attack we'll get from Defiant from Intimidate, if it does run Intimidate. So yeah, that is Gambit. It is most likely our win con and potential true physical breaker, considering we don't really have anything else physically offensive. This is our just true win condition, I think. So we're going to have to play around that. Next up, we have Sandy Shocks. This is a booster energy special attack set to try and force some sort of pressure onto my opponent. The only ground type on the team is Landorus, and we can two-shot it with Power Gem, essentially. So, plus we have Stealth Rocks on there in case we do see a pivot into Landorus and we don't know if it is a pivot. If we know something is going to switch out into it, stuff like that. And then we have just dual stabs in Thunderbolt and Earth Power. We should be able to outspeed mostly everything except like the Latios. The Latios and the Spectrier are basically the two things that can outspeed us. So everything else we should outspeed pretty easily. Even the Regigigas if it for some reason shows up, but it probably should. Yeah, so this is mainly just to try to provide some breaking power, especially with that first switch in for booster energy, as well as a way to get up hazards. There's no real hazard removal outside of Glamora, and as long as we have King Gambit pre-Terra, it can't really remove those hazards, so something to keep in mind. Next up, we have our Moltres. We are running heavy-duty boots on Moltres this week with Flame Body. This is our main check to low kicks. It's also a solid secondary check to Spectrier if we don't want Gambit to take much damage early, and if we want to use it as like a late-game win con, potentially we can use Moltres as a solid check to Spectrier. We have Roost, U-Turn, Scorching Sands, and Flamethrower. I was debating on that fourth move of Scorching Sands between, like, I don't know, Roar, Whirlwind, Protect even, or even Tailwind to try to give us a little bit of a speed boost. But I think Scorching Sands makes a lot of sense. If Heatran shows up and it doesn't Terra, then if it's, for whatever reason, Flash Fire instead of Flame Body, if we don't have Scorching Sands, we can't really hit it. So I'm very happy I'm bringing Scorching Sands for that potential. Because I can see Iron Hand, Spectre, Landorus, Heatran, Low Kicks, and Glamora showing up this week. I can see that being like a potential core of Mons. So this covers all bases for that. We have a little bit of special defense investment. We have enough so that way we can live a knockoff after rocks damage, most likely. There are some really good rockers on my opponent's side, on my opponent's team, so gotta be really cognizant of that. So hopefully Flame Body can proc on low kicks though, if that does end up happening, because it's basically low kicks that can use knockoff. So lastly, we have Suicune. This is our main lead essentially, because if I see Landorus, I'm expecting it to be a lead. We have Scald, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, and Roar with Inner Focus as our abilities, so that way we can't be flinched on potential fake outs from like Iron Hands or weird shenanigans. So I don't like shenanigans. We're a max physical defense set this week with enough HP to allow our leftovers to heal us for the maximum amount each turn. The rest of our EVs have gone into special attacks so we can hit a little harder, so that way we can guarantee, or more likely guarantee, an Ice Beam KO on Landorus on the first turn. Scald is there for stab, Calm Mind is there to set up and potentially be a really good win con for us if there's no Araquanid. And if there's like no Abomasnow either, we can do very good with Calm Mind and Ice Beam. So that is the team for this week. Basically, our goal is to try to set up for either a Skyman or a King Gambit win con, maybe Suicune if it goes that way, but that's mainly there for being like a solid pivot, maybe setup breaker kind of thing. Suicune can potentially win. It really depends on the mons that are on the other side of the field and how much we can get set up with it. So, thank you guys for watching this little team builder before the battle. I will see you guys in the start of the battle. So, I'll see you in a bit. Hello, Steel City Surge fans. Kippy here, coach of your Steel City Surge, back for week 1 of WPF against Adamu this week. We do see Spectrier, Iron Hands, Landorus, Glamora, Low Kicks, and Heatran exactly who we were expecting. And we need to see the Terras. No Araquanid is really nice. Terra Electric, Iron Hands, and Flying Heatran. Okay. Electric Hands and Flying Heatran. Okay. Good to know. Now, we always want to lead Suicune here, because if it's a Glamora lead, Scald is a 2-shot, we don't go down to... we shouldn't go down to an Energy Ball. No, we don't go down to an Energy Ball. And if we see Landorus, Ice Beam KOs. We see low kicks, that could be an issue, potentially, but we can just Scald. I don't think we see Spectrier as a lead. I don't believe Iron Hands would be a lead either. If that's the case, that'd be a wild lead. Good luck to have fun to Adamu. Basically the team we were expecting to see. Okay. We do see a Landorus lead, okay. So we do see Landorus lead. I like going for a Scald here a lot, because if you go for Rocks, I mean, you're basically kind of stuck, unless you're like Choice Band. I really like going for a Scald here. If you go for Rocks, that's fine. I can deal with that. As long as I don't get knocked off on Moltres, I should be okay. And Skyman, I should be okay. My opponent does not like taking a Scald here on any of his mons, basically. Except the Iron Hands, and... yeah, we do see Rocks. Okay. We do see Stealth Rock. That's okay. We are going to get a Scald off. That's going to do roughly about half, so that has some... okay, your leftovers. Okay. And we did a little bit like 60%, so that's pretty offensive or physically bulky. I do really like going for another Scald here and potentially just knocking you out. We got a lot of momentum with that. We got a lot of early momentum and in taking that down to half HP. EQ, that's fine. We're going to take out Landorus early, which is really good. So we are going to take out Landorus early. And we're at about 75% HP. Now, if, like, Spectrier comes in, I just want to essentially go for a Calm Mind. I could Roar. Mallows. What is Mallows? Is that the hands? That is the Spectrier. Okay. You could want to go for a Burn here, which could be a problem. If you do, though, I know what you're doing with that. I like going for a Scald. Taunt. Okay, good. I'm glad I went for damage. I can see if this thing is leftovers or not. And if I get a burn, that'd be massive. We do not get burned. Okay. We also do not see leftovers either. We do see a taunt. Okay. I'm going to keep going for a Scald here. I don't want to swap just yet, just because Scald puts so much pressure. And this thing doesn't have much in the way of healing outside of Draining Kiss without leftovers, or maybe it has Citrus Berry, but I kind of doubt it. And we did over... oh, it's Calm Mind. Okay. So that can be an issue. So does that +1, +1? If we get a burn, that'd be massive. We still have not gotten a burn. That's really annoying. So if you are 252 Throat Spray, +1/+1. If we go into Gambit with Rocks up on the field, we should be fine. I just go into a hard Gambit here. I don't want this thing setting up more than it has to. Plus, if he burns us, we do have... Okay, so he goes for another Calm Mind. So he's at +2/+2. Shadow Ball does at most 47. I could see a taunt here. I just really want to go for a Kowtow and just get damage. If he goes into hands, that's okay. I just go into Glow King after. We do see a swap. Okay, so we force it out. So it's Taunt, Calm Mind. Probably not Wisp then. We do see the hands come out. How much does Kowtow do to hands? Not much. It's not leftovers, though. I like just hard going into Glow King here on the hands. Earthquake could do a lot of damage. But I think you go for, like, a fighting move. SD, okay. That is scary. SD on this thing is really scary, actually. But we know it's not Assault Vest now. EQ could knock us out here. I do just like going for a Psychic and just getting damage. Supercell Slam. That's not going to KO. That's a crit and it KOs. Are you kidding? Ugh. Man, that's annoying. Okay. I could go into Shocks now, though. Shocks Earth Power should do a crap ton of damage. And he doesn't have a flying type. Losing Glow King that early is not fun. Losing Glow King this early is not fun. Not at all. How much was that gonna do? Supercell Slam, that crit mattered 100%. Adamant 252 does 82 to 96, so that crit absolutely mattered. Ugh, that's rough. Shocks does 50% to low kicks if it swaps in. Plus this really forces out Hands too. Hands does not want to take this Earth Power. Not Assault Vest. Alright, good. We took down the Hands. Thank goodness. It's another threat gone. Now, without Hands, Glow King doesn't necessarily make that much sense. Malice, we do see the Spectrier come back out. Now, if you are, like, near max, Shadow Ball should not KO. I can go for a very free Power Gem here and take you out because you shouldn't be able to knock us out. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to knock us out. I don't think you're Life Orb. If you're Life Orb, then you shouldn't knock us out either, so I just go for Power Gem here. Calm Mind, okay. Now, if you are Life Orb, a Shadow Ball could take us out. You don't really have that much that threatens King Gambit at the moment. Although, could I go into... No, I can't really go into you either at the moment, so I kind of need to go into Gambit now. That's fine, because we took out the Hands. There is the Terraflying Heatran, though, so I do want to keep Sandy Shocks in the back, at the very least. I do want to keep Sandy Shocks in the back. I don't know what item the Spectrier is. Draining Kiss. Okay, that's fine. You do very, very little. You don't even get back up to half. And you're not Life Orb either. Now, King Gambit can do a lot of damage to this Heatran with Kowtow. Like a 33%. I'm gonna go for Kowtow. Kowtow should KO basically everything. If you want to go into low kicks, it's gonna do damage to me, but I just go into Moltres after. You see a swap. Elos. Is that Heatran? It's gotta be Heatran. No, it's low kicks. Okay. So we're doing like a third. Okay. That did about, yeah, a little bit over a third. Roughly around a third. I do like going into Moltres here. If you are Choice Band, you do maybe half with knockoff. Although I don't think you're adamant. I think you could be... Yeah, there's knockoff. Okay. Yeah, you're not adamant. Do we get the flame body proc though? We do not. Oh, that's so annoying. I kind of just want to roost. You did to 247. You did 36%, so you are not Choice Band. Could be like a Salt Vest? I don't know. I kind of just want to go for a roost here. If you go into Glamora, that is kind of an issue. But I don't want to be swapping out and taking damage from rocks. We do see a swap. This is probably Glamora. Yeah, that's the Glamora, right? Yep. I think I want to go into Shocks here. If you go for Meteor Beam Power Herb, that'd be a crazy good play. But even at that point, I kind of just go into Skymin after. Gambit's looking pretty solid for the end game, more or less. You see Toxic, okay. Toxic comes out. I really like going for an Earth Power here because nothing wants to take an Earth Power. Not even Spectre wants to take an Earth Power. It might go down to an Earth Power, actually. You see a swap, so low kicks might come in. Yep, low kicks does come in. It's a lot of damage. I can see first impression here. I do like going back into Moltres, regardless of the spikes. Or not the spikes, the rocks. Regardless of the rocks, I like going into Moltres. First impression. If I can get burned, that'd be massive. Do not get burned. Okay. I really want to just go for a Scorching Sands here. I mean, knockoff could KO me, right? We're at 134. We're at 34%. Knockoff has a chance to KO, so does Sucker Punch. I'm just going to roost again. You see another swap. Because you went for Toxic before, I'm very inclined to just go for a Scorching Sands. Because we outspeed Glamora, so it doesn't have any speed investment. If that was its move, if that was Toxic, I'm going to go for a Scorching Sands. If you outplay me here, you outplay me, but I'm very intrigued about going for a Scorching Sands here. Because you could also swap right back into low kicks. You do go for Sludge Bomb. We live that. We live that easily. We're going to pick up probably a KO on this guy, too. Ooh, it lived. Okay. We do get the burn, though, so that's interesting. Okay. So we're at 169. How much do we have currently? 169. We're at 44%, so we can live another Sludge Bomb. Because low kicks is at such low HP and I still have Protect on Skymin, I am still inclined to just roost here and let this thing go down to burn. If we live, that'd be massive. We do live. No poison. We get back up above half, too. Let's go. Massive. And the only things left are Heatran, Low Kicks, and Spectrier. Low Kicks is already at low HP. You do see the Mallows come back out. That is you. I'm just going to U-turn. You shouldn't be able to KO with Shadow Ball. I'm going to U-turn. Because I can use you as a sack later on Low Kicks if I need it. I can get a slow pivot off into... You do see a Calm Mind. Perfect. So I can get back into Gambit now for free. I can freely go back into Gambit. I am not going to Terry just yet because of that Draining Kiss. Because Draining Kiss would KO me if I go for Terra. I always just kowtow. King Gambit is putting so much pressure right now, it's not even funny. Imagine if I went Supreme Overlord instead of Defiant. It makes so much sense why Landorus was sacked early. I still have Suicune later for Heatran. Because I don't think Heatran gets anything worthwhile. Let's go for Draining Kiss. It is going to do a lot of damage, but even through Colbur, we should just knock it out. And if not, we just go for a Sucker right after. It is Colbur. We should KO through this. Yeah, we do. Okay, cool. And Gambit KO'd Spectrier, so the horse is gone. Now, if Heatran comes out, we probably can Terra and just go for a Low Kick. I like having Gambit as a late game Sucker Punch, though, right now. The Low Kicks does come out. I am just going to Hard Swap into Moltres and sack it off. If you want to U-turn, I would be okay with that, especially if you get burned. You do U-turn. If I get... I really hope it's not Cobra Cloak and I get the Flame Body proc. I do not. That is so disappointing. But it's fine, because I should still be good. Heatran comes out. It does not get a Grass move, and it's Terrifying. The only Grass move it gets is Solar Beam. I am very, very fine with going into Suicune. I'm very okay with going into Suicune and just using Calm Mind on it. Well, it could get Roar, is the problem. I like going for just a Scald. You get Roar, don't you? You get Taunt. Okay. I'm just gonna go for a Scald. You don't Terra. That's interesting. Earth Power. Okay. That does a good chunk of damage, but we should be able to 1v1 you. I could probably go for a Calm Mind here, then. I'm just gonna go for a Calm Mind. It's a +1/+1 because I know you're not Life Orb. See, 251 to 196. 62. Yeah, you did like 12. And now a Scald should be able to KO you from this range. And you have to Terra, basically. No, you're not going to Terra? Okay. Oh, you live! Okay, you got a little bit of bulk on you. That's fine. I'm very okay with this because we basically guarantee Low Kicks has to take out King Gambit with Sucker Punch. And we should be fine. Suicune takes out... Suicune takes out Heatran. I think your Covert Cloak. Yeah, Sucker Punch doesn't do that much at all. So, first impression into Sucker Punch, we just win. GG's to Adamu. GG's. Suicune cleaned up. Skyman didn't even see the field. That's crazy. No terrors throughout the entire match, too. That's crazy. GG's to Adamu. Great game. We pick up our first dub of the season in week 1 with a nice 4-0 win. Very, very happy with the performance. Skyman was there as a late game win con, essentially, more or less. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys back next week for week 2 when we take on our next opponent. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Peace.